Okay, this is a recent game where I'm playing my Ogre Kingdoms, a heavy scouting list, and I'm facing off against High Elves with a double Star Dragon. A very hard matchup for the Ogres, but let's have a look at how the game went. So this is deployment. Some interesting happened already in the beginning of the game. As I said, I'm playing a very heavy scouting list with 6 scouting units, but the High Elves is also playing a scouting Illyrian Reavers unit. And he decided to scout with them, and then I decided to not scout with anything, just to get the +1 on who goes first. And I think this is key because that opens up a possibility of me having 2 extra cannon shots on his dragons, which is basically the only thing that really threatens his dragons. So I actually got to go first. The game starts with him baiting my Gorger to the right. He's scouting Illyrian Reavers behind the hill placed within 15. So when I go first, I must charge with the Gorger because he's frenzied. The High Elf player decides to flee with the Reavers, but he rolls low. He only rolls a 5, which allows the Gorger to actually catch them on a double 6 Swift Stride rerollable, which I do. So a very lucky start for the Ogre player, who catches the Illyrian Reavers on the right. Then it's Ogre Kingdom's movement phase. I decide to move up in the middle of the table with my big block of Iron Guts. Just take position really. I decide to bait with my 3 Ogre Bulls, who moves up in marching column, hoping that his Star Dragon will actually charge. What happens then is Ogre Kingdom shooting phase, so both of the cannons actually fire at the mage on Star Dragon because it only has a 4-up armor save and a 5-up regeneration save. Both of the cannons hit. One of them rolls a 1-2 wound, which is unfortunate. The other one rolls a 3 on number of wounds, but he regenerates one of them, so the mage on Star Dragon loses 2 wounds. My hunter to the far left, he has the harpoon launcher. He launches a shot at the Prince Star Dragon, who has the armor of meteoric iron. So he has a 5-up ward save. I hit him, I wound him, but he saves with the 5-up. And that is basically what happens on Ogre's turn 1. This is how movement in the High Elf player goes. So he's moving up with his silver helms in the middle of the field. Both of the dragons are very aggressive, moving up to threaten my flanks. I left my flank open on the Iron Guts, which is probably a mistake. He charges my Gorger with his silver helms to the right. I actually prepared to flee with him, but since he's frenzied and immune to psychology, he can't flee. And then we have some shooting from the High Elf player. He does some damage on the Ogre Bulls. And then what happens is that the Silver Helms on the right, they just manage to kill the Gorger because of Hammerhand, the High Elf ring. And he fails his restraint test, so he must overrun. But he fails to actually reach my Mournfang to the far right, which allows me to actually charge him. Unfortunately, he is within 3 inches, so I don't get the impact hits though. Alright, on to Ogre Kingdom's turn 2. So I charge with my Mournfang to the right. I move more into position. I try to force his Silverhelms in the middle of the field to engage with my Death Star. So if he would charge with his Prince on Star Dragon to the left in my rear, at least I get the points for killing his cavalry, because I think I will do that. One key thing here is that the mage on Star Dragon got off Walk Between Worlds, so he's immune to cannon shots this turn, so I need to shoot my cannons and also my hunter harpoon launcher at the Prince to the left. And I mean, he has a 5-up armor, 5-up ward, 5-up regen, but I hope to get a few wounds in on the Prince. Okay, what happens then? So I shoot at the prince. Both of the cannons hit him and both of them wound him, but both are saved with the armor of meteoric iron again. You know, the 5-up unmodifiable armor save. And the same happens with the harpoon launcher, who again hits and wounds, but he saves with the armor of meteoric iron. So far the prince has saved 4 D3 wounds with the armor of meteoric iron. And since this is basically my only threat to the dragons, it doesn't look too good for the ogres at the moment. On the far right, my Mornfang cavalry managed to kill a few of the silver helms who fall back, and I follow up. But as you can see, the dragon on the hill sees my flank, and it doesn't look too good for the ogres at the right. High Elf turn 2 means a lot of charges. Both of the dragons charge in. The silver helms at the middle of the field, they engage with my saber tusks. The chariot on the left charges my nobler trappers. And then there is some shooting, a few ogres and a few nobler die. But then the combat, after combat, it looks like this. So a few key things here. In the combat to the right, the Mornfang kills all of the silver helms, but the dragon kills 2 of the Mornfang from his flank charge. And I am double outnumbered, and I lost by a bunch. But unfortunately for me, I roll a double 1 on my break test, so I only fall back. I give ground, which means that the dragon to the right continues to be engaged in combat, and I can't shoot at him with my 2 cannons. And basically the same thing happens in the middle, so the prince on Star Dragon is still engaged in combat. The prince kills 1 ogre, the ogres kill all but 1 of the silver helms in the middle. I roll good on my break test, which is bad again. So I give ground and stay put, so I can't turn around, unfortunately. So the dragon is still fighting in my rear. And the chariot to the left kills off a few of the nobler trappers, who falls back, and the chariot follows up. All right, ogres turn 3. I'm beginning to be a little bit desperate because I can't shoot with anything with my cannons. So I charge in a few of my units in the middle fight. My Noblars flank the remaining silver helm, and I have 1 ogre bull who charges the dragon, generating 1 impact hit, and if he's not attacked, at least I have a flank. And what happens then is that the dragon to the right kills the remaining Mornfang, and in the middle, because the dragon is fighting in my rear, I can't really engage with my tyrant. So more ogres die, and again, unfortunately, I only give ground, and I'm still engaged in the rear with the ogres. The Noblars to the left also die, and my cannons fail to kill anything. Then actually we're already nearing the end of the game. Both of the dragons are now engaged with my big block of iron guts. This turn I can at least move my tyrant. What I didn't mention before is that I also have a BSB in there who has the monster tapestry, so the dragons at least can't stomp me. There is a challenge in the middle fight. I decide to move my tyrant to the right, facing off against the mage on Star Dragon. I survive with 1 remaining wound, and my tenderizer only manages to get 2 wounds through, unsaved, but I roll a double 1, so only 2 wounds from the 2 D3s. My hunter to the left is fighting against the chariot in the ruins to the far left. I stand and shoot. I actually take off a wound of the chariot. He fails to wound me, and I actually win the combat. The chariot breaks, and the hunter runs him down, so a small victory for the ogres. But then in the turn after, my tyrant and most of the remaining ogres in the middle actually die, and we decide to basically end the game there. It's a massive win for the High Elves, and I'm thinking about what to do next turn, so next game. A very hard matchup. I think maybe I should have just cornered up and tried to shoot as much as possible with the cannons. But as you can see, dragons who actually high roll on the saves is very, very difficult to win against.